He felt her slipping. Not gone yet. Just slipping. The texts came slower. The calls got shorter. The eye contact that used to linger a little too long started landing somewhere else. And he panicked. Quietly. The kind of panic that doesn't look like panic from the outside. It looks like trying harder. It looks like showing up more. It looks like saying the thing you've been holding back at exactly the wrong time. He told her he loved her. Not casually, not in passing. He sat her down. He meant it. Every word. He told her how much she meant to him, how he couldn't picture his life without her, how scared he was of losing what they had. He laid it all out. Everything he felt. Everything he'd been afraid to say. And for a moment, she just looked at him. Quiet, still. Something behind her eyes he couldn't quite read. She said she needed some time to think. He nodded, told her that was okay, told her he understood. But something in his chest already knew. The words had landed wrong, not because they weren't true. They were true. That was the problem. Here's what most men don't understand about moments like this. Timing changes meaning. The exact same words, said at a different moment, can mean something completely different. Said early. When things feel steady, a confession like that builds connection. Said late, when someone is already pulling back, it can feel like something else entirely. It can feel like pressure. For many people, when someone senses distance forming and responds with a big emotional declaration, it doesn't read as romantic. It reads as urgency. And urgency, in relationships, often signals something the other person picks up on instantly, even if they can't name it right away. Fear, not strength. Fear. If you've ever said the right words at the wrong time and watched them somehow make things worse instead of better, you're not alone in that. And there's a real reason it happens. Hit like if this is already making sense. Subscribe if you want to understand exactly what shifted in her mind after that conversation, because that's where this story gets interesting. She left that night distracted, not upset, not angry, just somewhere else in her head. He didn't hear from her for 2 days. That had never happened before. 2 days of silence does something to a man who just poured his heart out. It doesn't just worry him, it rewires him. He replayed the conversation over and over, wondering which word had been wrong, wondering if he'd said too much, wondering if he should have waited. He picked up his phone a dozen times, started typing, deleted it, started again. On the third day, she texted back, casual, short. Hey, sorry, been busy. That was it. No mention of what he'd said. No mention of the conversation at all. Like it hadn't happened. Like the most vulnerable thing he'd ever said to another person had just evaporated into the air between them. He replied instantly. Too instantly. He asked if they could talk. She said she was busy this week, but soon. He waited. Soon didn't come. Here's the psychological mechanism at the center of this entire story. When one person confesses deep emotional investment, while the other person is already in a state of pulling away, it creates what's known as an emotional imbalance. Not in how much either person feels, in how much each person is expressing. He had just handed her the full weight of his emotional world, and she was already halfway out the door, trying to figure out what she wanted. That kind of imbalance rarely resolves itself gently. Usually, the person holding more weight starts reaching harder, and the person already pulling away feels the reach as pressure, not comfort. For many women in this position, the pulling away isn't fully conscious yet. It's not always a decision. Sometimes it's a feeling, an itch of doubt, a flicker of, is this really what I want? That hasn't been examined. When a partner responds to that flicker with a full declaration of love, it can force a decision before she's ready to make one. And in many cases, being forced to decide early pushes people toward the exit, not away from it. Have you ever felt someone pulling away and instinctively tried to hold on tighter? What happened next? Sit with that question for a second. Because what happens next in this story might surprise you. He waited a week, then 2. Her replies got shorter, slower, warmer on the surface but distant underneath. The kind of warmth people use when they've already made a decision and are just being kind about the ending. He didn't want to see it. So he didn't. Not yet. The final conversation happened on a Tuesday. Nothing dramatic led up to it. No fight, no betrayal. Just an accumulation of silence that had gotten too heavy to keep pretending wasn't there. She said she cared about him. She said this wasn't about anything he did wrong. She said she just didn't feel the same pull anymore. And the strange part, she wasn't lying. He asked when it changed. She thought about it, then said quietly, "I think somewhere around the night you told me you loved me." He felt his stomach drop, not because she was blaming him. She wasn't. She was just being honest about the timeline. "That was when it should have brought us closer," he said. "I know," she said. "That's the part I can't really explain either." Here's what she couldn't fully articulate in that moment, but what was actually happening underneath. His confession hadn't caused her doubt. The doubt was already there, quietly, before he ever said a word. What his confession did was remove her ability to explore that doubt privately. The moment he declared everything, she felt the weight of having to respond with equal certainty. And she didn't have it. Not because she didn't care about him, but because his intensity in that moment didn't match where she actually was. And rather than admit that in real time, she pulled further away until the distance became impossible to ignore. This is the mechanism worth remembering. Emotional honesty is not the problem. Never has been. The problem, in many cases, is emotional honesty delivered without reading where the other person actually is. A confession set into a steady, secure connection can deepen it. The same confession set into uncertainty can accelerate an ending that was already quietly forming. For many men, this story stings because it's not about doing something wrong. It's about doing something real, at a moment that couldn't hold it. If you've ever poured your heart out and watched it somehow speed up an ending instead of preventing one, that wasn't a failure of honesty. It was a lesson in timing. And it's one worth carrying forward, quietly, into whatever comes next. In the next video, we're going deeper into a woman who did the opposite. She saw him again, 6 months after everything ended, and she couldn't hide what she was actually feeling. That story explains something about regret that most people never say out loud.